Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Talkin' Tech. My name is Tony, and in today's video, I'm going to continue my series on the best streaming services of 2019, and we're going to cover PlayStation Vue. To start, I'm going to go over some of the packages, some of the prices, and then we're going to dive into the features of it and show you around. And then I'll give you my thoughts and opinion and let you know what I really think about it. Let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you what it's all about. As we start here, you can see that there are a variety of packages at a bunch of different price points. So we'll go over here to start with the Access package, which is $44.99 a month, which includes what I would consider a basic cable package, some sports channels, some local channels, and your basic cable selection. Moving to the core selection, it adds quite a bit more sports channels, including the NFL Network, ESPNU, ESPN News, things like that, for the price of $49.99. It does add a few more channels. I won't go into detail on those, as you can kind of see it on your own. When you move up to the Elite package for $59.99, it includes what I would say, some third-tier movie channels, Epix, FXM, things like that. It does say it includes NFL Network, which is already included in the previous package. At the very top end of the budget, you see Ultra at $79.99 a month, which includes movies, sports, and premiums, which as you see, it includes Showtime and HBO, as well as basically every other channel that they offer. As we scroll down here, you'll notice that the sports pack is an added $10 a month, and it requires Core, Elite, or the Ultra plan. It includes the NFL Red Zone, and then it also includes a few other channels like ESPN goin, ESPN Classic, and some Fox College Sports channels, along with Longhorn Network. You can also add FX Plus for $5.99 a month, or Epix Hits, which is also included in Ultra. There is an Espanol package, which is available for those that would prefer to have some Spanish channels. As we move down farther, you can see that they do offer standalone channels: HBO, Showtime, Cinemax, HBO and Cinemax package for $19.99 a month, Epix and Showtime for $11.49 a month, and then the Fox Soccer Plus package for those of you that like to watch soccer from across the pond for $12.99 a month. As you see, HBO here is $15 a month, which is pretty standard for any package outside of DirecTV Now, as I was informed by somebody else, and it kind of brought it to my attention that HBO is owned by AT&T Time Warner, and I never really put two and two together, which is why DirecTV Now is only $5. Showtime is reasonable at $8.99 a month on PlayStation Vue. Let's go ahead and take a look at the interface, and I'll show you some of the features of it. Before we dive into the interface, I do want to cover something that was pointed out to me as something that doesn't really affect me, but it will probably affect a lot of people with families. PlayStation Vue does allow people to set up to 10 profiles, so you can log in as yourself and have your own favorite channels. Your DVR can be set up differently. So this is a big feature that I think is a value add to families. Like I said, it's not something that I necessarily think about, but I figured I would point it out since I kind of skipped it here in the interface, since it's the first thing you do when you log into it. A couple of questions it asked when I set it up was, do you want to set up your favorite channels, and then do you want to show sports scores? I selected both because I wanted to see what the favorite channel situation would look like, and I kind of wanted to see what the sports would show. So now let's go ahead and dive into the interface here. As you can see, when you boot up, it kind of shows you what you're watching, and it shows you what's on that channel coming up next, which I think is a nice feature. It kind of shows you what to expect right when you hit the dashboard. I do like that it plays right away, and it doesn't make you select a channel or anything like that. And then once you go into guide, which you'll see in a second, it also keeps playing in the corner. So as we scroll through the home screen here, you can see it shows trending live TV, and there again, there's a sports score. And then here's your DVR. I don't have anything recorded, so we'll cover DVR here quick. DVR is actually an unlimited space, but it only stores programs for 28 days. Now, I don't know if you can tab something to hold on, but 28 days and unlimited storage, that's pretty decent. Now, there are some caveats to the DVR. A bunch of channels don't allow you to record on their DVR, including my local channels that are local to me. In addition to that, you are able to watch DVR while you're on the go. However, you are not able to record local channels or record while you're on the go. So that's a couple caveats to the DVR. However, it does seem like it functions pretty well. And then as we move along here to the favorite channels, it'll show the favorite channels that I chose, and then it'll show recent channels, and then it'll scroll through the all channels, but I'll save that for once we get to the guide section here. It does cordon off some of the channels, sports, kids, featured, just to kind of give you some idea of what's on. I'm sure it's just, advertised, that kind of a thing. Let's go ahead and move up to the guide here. So as you'll notice, and I think this is a kind of a negative, the guide is vertical. Now, I will give them credit for the favorite channel section because it does allow you to set channels there so you see them right away and not have to scroll all the way through the guide. It does list the local channels first, which I do appreciate. That is nice. And then from there, it is alphabetical. And as you see, for me, ABC is only available on demand. So it's something to kind of consider if you're looking at this. Now, to scroll a long distance, you can scroll pretty fast. So I do like that. However, it doesn't give you a whole lot of, selection when you do that. As I said, it is vertical, which I think is kind of weird. However, one nice feature of it, something that I really liked about DirecTV Now, was the ability to go back and take a look at previous shows on that channel. So you can select it. Oh, I guess it's going to make me watch it on demand, which is not really what I wanted to do. But I guess that's what happens when you don't do it before the show. If you long click on this, you can add the program to DVR. You can go to program details, more from Discovery or whatever channel you're watching. And then you can also, remove or add to your favorite channel. So like I said, that's a long click. I'm doing this on my Shield TV right now. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the on-demand section here. So it does look like it has a decent selection of on-demand stuff. Now, it doesn't seem as premium as, say, Hulu, which I think, in my opinion, just takes the cake for all the on-demand programming. But it does have some decent availability, a bunch of categories, so it's nothing to scoff at. Let's go ahead and move to the search here. As I get to the top. In the search function, this is kind of weird. I'm not sure how I feel about it. It does allow you to select a letter and then search from there, and then it's just kind of weird. I guess I don't really know. Maybe there's something that I'm missing here, but it's kind of weird. I don't like this vertical scrolling thing, and maybe it's something I would get used to when I have it for longer than my 5-day trial. But it is there. I'm sure it works fine. It just is kind of wonky to use. That's pretty much all there is in the interface. I mean, it is pretty basic, but it is really nice. I mean, it functions well. It's smooth. I didn't have any issues with buffering. Now, I did forget to point out that this does allow you to have 5 devices simultaneously streaming, which is a pretty big deal. As DirecTV Now, you can only have 2, and you can add a third one. But this does allow 5, which I think is a big advantage, especially with up to 10 profiles. I mean, it would be nice. Now that we've gone over the packages, the features, and the interface of PS Vue, I'll go ahead and give you my opinion and whether I recommend it or not. PlayStation Vue's packages are generally competitive. However, on the lower end, they are more expensive than, say, like Sling, which starts at $25 a month, and PlayStation Vue starts at $45 a month. It does offer quite a bit more programming. However, if you're trying to be budget conscious, it might not be the best option. If I were to switch over from DirecTV Now, I would be looking at about $65, which would be the core package, including HBO for $15 a month. However, I would probably upgrade with the $10 a month sports package, which includes NFL Red Zone, and that would put me at $75 a month, which, quite frankly, that's not saving a whole lot of money from cable, especially where I'm at right now at $48. Now, one of the big benefits of PlayStation Vue is it is available on all devices. All of my streaming devices will work for this, which I think is the first one that I've reviewed that the app is available on everything. So that's really nice. I think the interface is really smooth. However, I did find it a little wonky that the guide was vertical versus horizontal on most guides. Going back to cable boxes, it's all horizontal, and maybe they're onto something. I just didn't like it. I think it feels messy, and I kind of had to retrain myself how to use it. I did appreciate the favorite channels lined up on the left side right when you logged in. I think that's really nice and makes it really easy to access it. The DVR has a limited storage, however it comes with quite a few caveats, including the fact that it only records for 28 days, and then you can't record certain channels, which is the first time I've really run into that. So I guess, you know, that's kind of weird to me, and I know they said a lot of the stuff is available on demand, so that helps. It's just kind of weird. You know, I record local football games here, and I wouldn't be able to record those. On top of the unlimited DVR, it does actually allow you to have 5 streams running at the same time, and it has up to 10 profiles that allow you to customize based on who in your family, or I guess if you share PlayStation Vue with somebody else, which might be a good way to get the cost down. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I think PlayStation Vue is one of the most refined products that I've used from top to bottom. It just feels really smooth, other again than the guide that I brought up. But I feel like it's the most refined, and I guess you kind of pay for that. Now, I'm not going to be making the switch. However, I think it is a really solid option. I think you get a lot for the money. And again, I think it just works really, really well. With that said, stay tuned for my following video on YouTube TV. It was just announced that it's available in my area as of yesterday. So I will be signing up for that here shortly and releasing my video on that in the coming week. If you like today's video, hit that like button. If you haven't already, definitely subscribe, as you're not going to want to miss my future videos. Thanks for watching. Have yourself a great day.